Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Cody. I'm a private boater, and today I'm going to talk about my repair kit that I take on multi-day river trips. I use the 1300 Pelican for my longer multi-days. I also have 1170. That's really nice for short day trips if I'm not taking that much stuff. And then I also think the 1200 would work really well too. But I'm just really used to the 1300, so that's the one I bought. The one thing that I do not have in this kit that I would normally take on a multi-day is a spare oar lock or a set of spare pin if I was using pins. In the top, I'll usually have this elastic cord that I use to repair the poles of tents, because I found a lot of the people I go with and me also, I'll take a tent out that I haven't used in a year, and I never use it on a river trip, and it starts to rain, and one of the poles are messed up. This is great to repair it. And then I'll usually have some paracord in the top here, and then underneath, I'll just start out screwdriver. I really like this screwdriver. It's Husky. I picked it up at a big box store, but it is two drive sockets. So this side and then this other side. And then it's got a small flathead and Phillips. And then it also has a large flathead and Phillips. So it's probably a Phillips 2 on one side, Phillips 1 on the other. Then I believe in carrying as many pairs of trauma shears that you can. So I have one in my repair kit. I have one in my trauma kit. I just kind of have them all over because you can never have enough. They're cheap and they're super useful. Multi-tool. I've actually never used this on a trip, but I have it in there because I feel like you should have a multi-tool. This I use for rolling out bubbles in if I'm using tear aid or if we're gluing. At some point, I do want to upgrade to something a little bit better, maybe a hand roller on it. But this has worked really, really well over the years. Sharpie. So what I like about Sharpies is when you go to fix your boat, you deflate it. And so a lot of times, if it's a small like pinhole that you're trying to fix, it's kind of hard to remember exactly where it is. And so this way, you can have it fully inflated, put some water on it, find it, dry it off, circle it with the Sharpie, and then when you dry and deflate your boat, you know exactly where that issue is. I use some of the oars that I have or the type of oars that you can remove the blades. And so I carry this. This is Sawyer's lock for their tile sets. It's a lot better, I believe, in my opinion, using this than just a regular screwdriver. It doesn't mess up the plastic locks on it as much. I carry a bolt, and this is what I use for locking my cooler if I'm on the Rogue River. This way, I don't have to pull coolers out of my raft. So I just leave it in my repair kit because I always have that on a trip, and where I store it in my boat is right next to my cooler. I also, for my day frame, is an adjustable NRS frame. So it's just NRS's quarter socket or ratchet, and then I have a 1/2 inch shallow and a 1/2 inch deep socket. A tool to pull valves off of a boat. This is just spare tubing. If I need to repair something on a pump, K-pump, something like there, just nice to have. I run air style boats, and so air style boats have an outside PVC cover, and then the inside actually has an air sail made out of urethane. And what I really like about that setup is if I get a puncture in the outside PVC, my boat still retains air. And then how I can repair it is with needle and thread. So these are actually what air sells. So these are the needles, these are the thread, and you just use a baseball stitch. And then once you get done with that baseball stitch, you take a piece of tape over the top of it, and that is a bomber field fix until you can get home and actually use glue. And so I like this Gorilla clear tape. It's waterproof and it's flexible. Just way better in my opinion than duct tape when we're doing stuff out on boats. And then this is, I think, the most important part of my repair kit. So I carry type A and type B terade. Got in the terade, I've got alcohol preps. Rolled up on the inside here, I have terade type A. So terade type A I can use on my boat. It's not as strong, but compared to anything else, terade type A, if you have it, I would still repair my boat with it. But I carry this for repairing tents and my jackets, that type of synthetic material. And then I carry terade type B, and this is what I would use to repair a gouge in my urethane bladder. And so what's actually nice about using this is, one, you don't have the cure time of glue. And I think glue has a really important part in fixing boats, but you should do it back home. And so out in the field, type B, if you don't have an air style boat, I think this is going to be great for a 5-6 day fix. And then actually per air, because I have that bladder design, the urethane air bladders, this is the permanent fix if you have an issue like a puncture or cut on that inside bladder. So outside of that, I've got just some spare zippers and then some snap rings for my zippers on my air cells. So outside of that, that's what I carry in my repair kit. I have a very strong opinion that everyone should have a repair kit that they know what's in it. It's well stocked for their boats. And then two, that you bring yours on every trip, just because if somebody doesn't have, like misses some equipment, got used and get repaired or replaced in the repair kit, that as a team you can fix a boat. So outside of that, that's all I have. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the water.